Well, hi, I'm Jean-Philippe. I like Qwik. This is not the real logo. It's just one that looks cool. So yeah, so it's funny that you talk about performance, like time to first byte, because that's what Qwik is for. And yeah, so I'm just gonna present some of the open source because Qwik is an open source framework, which is like just like React, but we're gonna further along. So I just want to go out of this, and so this is my app, but they will show at the end. Just want to show first that the first one is React, this is Vue, and this is Qwik. It is quick. It's quick to zero. But I wanted to show this is like how much download, but this is like another application to see like how much people actually work on the app, like how much people actually contribute to the project. It is like pretty small, but like I like this like to contribute to this like because I am contributing to this framework and like talk to on Discord or whatever, and I really like that. It's small and like I can like actually push PR and to get merged pretty quickly, and that's just like that's what I wanted to show. And after that, I just wanted to show the home page. So like the promise is to be really like to not ship JavaScript to your browser. So when you send like your request to your web page, do not send any JavaScript. But like I would say that with the air quote, it's not actually true. It's what they want, but yeah. So this is just what they have on the web. So you don't like be okay what they look like. So yeah. So it's I will say like why I did like choose this title. It's because everything that Qwik gives, it's something that they like because I've been to every framework possible or most of them that are popular, and they pretty much like stole everything that's good on the like web framework base. I mean, in my opinion. So and I always say I always bet on React, and because like they gave JSX and like they gave this style for the code, and yeah, and this is like the order that we're going to I can present the thing. So this is the syntax of Qwik. So as you can see, it's pretty close to what you would write in React, apart from the component where you because like there's some magic behind that I'm gonna present later, and Qwik is just like Vue.js. They have about the same system to like the state. So when you have the value, and that's where you generate your states, and yeah. So this is how we do state management in Qwik. There's no like the stand or Redux or whatever. It's all managed to a signal. So yeah. So we like pretty sure like everybody knows here what is like file-based routing. Like Qwik does a bit different. They do it instead with a folder, and they have like I at first I was like it's file-based routing, and then today I was like actually it's folder-based routing, and it's the same thing as what you would have in Next, but instead it's file, pretty much the same thing. But they have like a really like clear way of like how your code runs, and like from the root, and then you like go down your like your tree, because like all your file system is actually a tree. So that's how you're like from the top to the bottom of your file, and then some part of your file won't be run. So this is like I really like the frame because it's clear what you're going to happen in the code. So that's like one thing I wanted to show how the routing works. And yeah, so most of your code will run inside of index, which is like but you have also the layout where all of your, let's say you have like a header, you would put this, and then you will slot your normal code that will live inside of the index. But layout does have some more feature, and there's a service worker, just that I'm not really entirely sure what it's for, but it's some things that are for performance, I guess. So, and there's like one thing that I really like about this framework is like how much you're like it's funny because this is not actually just a Qwik. They have like a router it's called like Qwik CLI, which is like Qwik CLI is really a bad name for a router. Really bad name. It's like I heard about the name and was like, what are you talking about? But anyway, so I just wanted to show here that when you want to send code, like send the data from your front end, from your back end to your front end, you actually know what's going on. and I really like that. So you have no like something like when if you look at your front end, you're like, oh, my code is broken and don't know why. Well, you maybe have changed something in your back end, but yeah. So oh, you remember like this is like just like Next, but they have like server action, which recently have been changed to server function, and yeah. But this is like when you would write your normally like your code, and this is there's like they have some other primitive behind it to make it easier. I think my next slide does have one. Yeah, so this is like one of the function that you would write for. Let's say that you want to write a form and you want to be able to send something to your backend. This in this case, it's pretty much like if I was writing a drizzle and just a success as a value or whatever. But yeah, pretty neat. And I guess in that case, I'm not throwing, so 500 there. But they have like another primitive, which like the server dollars, which is like when you don't want to write like a server action, but you still want to interact with your server. It's like just like a function that will be run on the server, and then the parameter will be like a client. So you can write all of your fetch using server, which is like even the primitive right now, you don't have like server validation with Zod but it's still like I recently seen that they want to do that. So I don't think you really have that in React. So I think it's that nice to have. So yeah, and also I say RPC, but anybody here like know TRPC, right? Not much. So yeah, TRPC is the type safe way of writing data from the server and the client. It was promoted by like a meta framework called T3 Stack. So yeah, it was really. I was like, at some point, like before doing Qwik, I tried to find one of the framework that gave me like type safety from the back end to the front end, but I didn't want to use React, and it was pretty hard to find that one thing that could work well. And by chance, or I found Qwik, which like solved most of what I wanted to write as code and to be clear and what's going on in there. So maybe people here knows about like React Hook Form, right? So we do have the same library, but it's named under another name, like Modular Form, and you can actually use it in React. They have the same library, but for both things, and it's all type safe, so no worry about that. And you, if you wanted, I don't know why you would want to do that, but yes, you can still write your useEffect because Qwik is by default fully SSR, so all your code will run on the server, inner code, but like there's some other magics. So this is like how you would write code. So only your code will run on the client, and then the fetch on the client when it's visible. And yeah, so there's another thing that I really like about Qwik is that they have a really good CLI. So when you want to do an interaction, let's say you want to deploy on Vercel or Bun, or they have like more than that. They have like Drizzle, JS, all of those little things that sometimes you would like need to go to a tutorial to do it and then write some code and not sure if your things actually work. Well, Qwik give you like the battery to make that thing work. It's really cool for that. So, and also you're like, oh, I have this one React thing that I need. Well, Qwik like knows that this is a thing, so they made it possible that you can use Material UI inside of Qwik. So I did try to do it, but it's not. It's when you do use this feature, you will end up in the deep part of Qwik, and you need every function need to be like serializable, so like to a string, and not everything is serializable. So yeah, all right, let's go into like the good part. So Qwik is normally like most of SSR framework, they have like you send your HTML and then you send all of your JavaScript to your client. Well, Qwik doesn't do that. It does like some all of the dollar sign that we see earlier. They will. This is the see the QRL. I don't know if you ever done like dynamic import when you on your like lazy import on your client, like to save some time or whatever, and Qwik does it like everywhere. So like all of your bundling, all of your interaction that will happen on your client will be bundle like separately. So every time that you see like a dollar sign, it will be a serializable. So it must be a string or something that your they have like a Rust code somewhere that will look all of your code and then create some bundle with like the chunk B. So this is like a picture I took of my current application, and this is like all of the different bundle that my app has. So it's all pretty small, but I do have some. If I did scroll at the bottom, there's still some big part because I'm using like a map, and it's not a big one. So I did like this is the end of my presentation, but I wanted to show like what did I build. So like this is one of my application that I made, but this is like application I've been working for a few months. Yeah, a few months. You're like, oh, why did you not like just make it to do app? And I didn't want to do that because I was bored. I was like, I wanted to make something like from zero and be like, oh, I want to have like a good design. I want to have like being like, oh, I want to separate my concern from running my code in my backend, and then I want to separate like knowing, oh, is this code running on the server or the client? I want to know that, and after that, it's be able like to test the part of my server, and then sometime when I tried to think about that in other solution, I couldn't get that. And with Qwik, I was able like to find the correct boundary for doing that. But maybe it's a skill issue on my part, but I found it in Qwik, and I was able to separate that. So this was my little presentation for Qwik. And why did I prefer Qwik like over anything else? It wasn't because of like the JavaScript loading. It was because the framework was easy to get into, and that all of the part that would be annoying to use were already like they already give it to you for free, and that's like something that I really like and other framework doesn't give. So yeah. Question? All of the integration. I don't know if you ever like went in other frameworks and tried to. I know like sometimes like setting up stuff, like you want to make a prototype and you want to do like the same thing correctly, but every time you do it, you do something wrong, and then you need to like read like a medium for doing that. Well, Qwik, instead of doing that, they do it themselves, and they made integration into their CLI. So instead of like wasting your time on integration, you waste your time on the framework or building your app. So, and I feel like DX is that. Instead of wasting your time on thinking, you write the code, just like Tailwind, whatever. And that's what I prefer, writing code instead of thinking. So they have like a great documentation. What? So they have like a great documentation of. Oh, they do have a documentation. I actually work on They have good documentation, but you still gotta make it better. And they do have like a Discord where you have like ask question, and people like me do answer the question, and they're fairly answer quickly. So yeah. Can you talk more about how hydration works with Qwik? Because I didn't really get it. Oh, okay. So, all right. So when your normal JavaScript framework, it will load every JavaScript part after like it runs your code on the server, and then it will ship the same code and will rerun it again. On Qwik, it has every node on your DOM have like a number or something, like a tag, where you will know which part of your DOM has like an event handler, and then you will be able to, when you need to enact, like when you do an interaction with that element, it will download the JavaScript. So you do pay at some level. The interaction, you will get some. You can have like different level of like loading your JavaScript. Like you can have it like on hover, you can have it on click, but if you're, it will. It's like one of the downside of Qwik is that your JavaScript sometimes you will lose off on interactivity, but you can like you will gain on like your screen, your time to first byte. If you don't have a really slow core in your backend and you're just loading like only HTML, right? So yeah.
JavaScript only loads when you interact with the component.
Yes, or you have like a service worker that does the magic and cache all your JavaScript. But there's like some advanced topic where you can do some more magic, But it's like the Qwik is they want us to make performant code by default and only then. And when you try to do things that will slow down your website, like use visible, which is like when you first load your page, it will like eagerly load the JavaScript. But in theory, you can have all your JavaScript code is executed later down the road, because they have like this model which is like a virtual machine. So you have when you first load your application, it runs, and then when your client is initialized, like stopped, then you start again when you interact with the website. Yes.
Which projects do you enjoy building the most with Qwik, given that you lose out on some of the activities?
I actually, I think, like, what do you mean by which project?
Well, in a similar fashion that like Gatsby does something in that sense where it gives you all the HTML, but it's great for, let's say, sites or projects that don't need a lot of.
I think it's that if you wanted to like make a page that is, like in my case, I don't mind like sometimes having interaction at all. I will try to find a way like to make the UI interaction seamless. Like you try to avoid like drop down, but there is some quirk where I wanted really, I could fix it. But in my case, I'm like, I don't really care that much. I would just bypass it. But I would say that for me, what I really like about the framework is that I don't need to set up the RPC. That I have this by default. I have like this framework. In theory, you can use it as a backend framework. Like the HTML part, it's just fancy stuff. But all of the backend is like really pretty well done, and it's pretty cool for that you can in theory, because like in my current project, what I wanted to do is that out of my API, I wanted to expose it to make it like another application and consume it. So I really like that.
Is Qwik running on mobile?
Qwik is not. I mean, my application is mobile friendly, but like it's like any other web framework. It's not. It's not a React Native, because like it's just yet another web framework, But it is fairly it goes fairly well on a like low end device because you don't load the JavaScript, I guess, right? So yeah, I mean, I do have. It's funny because I did buy recently a device where it's like low end, and every website feels slow anyway.
Yeah.
So and like if you do complex stuff, you will pay the cost. So if it's like sometimes just like CSS stuff where you actually it's like where you lose the most performance or you make your website slow by default. So it's either like pretty or fast. Don't load in JavaScript or so. Yeah. Okay.